We're about to hit the water with an 8S powered 34-inch hydro RC drivers. This is the new ProBoat U-34. Whoa. We're getting right into this one, RC drivers. We're out on the lake early in the morning. Let's take a closer look at all the features on the U-34. How awesome does this boat look? I wish there was a little bit more sun for you guys, but unfortunately the Canadian wildfires are blowing some smoke down here. So we've got a little bit of a hazy day today, but this is absolutely awesome. So this hull is painted by hand from what I've read. It's a composite molded hull, but this thing is absolutely strong. I think it's actually stronger than fiberglass. Honestly, I am really pressing on it and there is zero flex with this. So it is a multiple piece hull though. You can see that there's a number of holes on the bottom. And I know the purist is gonna say, hey, that's gotta go and cause a bit of drag, and yeah, it might, but this thing is still supposed to go 70 miles an hour. But look at all the edges. Everything is super sharp on this. So they did do a really good job on it. It's just, I think people will probably go fill those holes if they really want to repaint the bottom of the hull. Check this out, little decal on the bottom as well. And then you can see the stuffing tube coming out. We'll talk more about that later. Everything is super sharp on this. Back to the top, check out the front. This is an adjustable canard. This is super cool. It's done through the radio system. You could go and adjust it on the fly, where if you push the button, it's going to give you more lift to get this thing up and out of the water. And then if you have a blowover, you could hit a B button on the radio system to drop it back down. It'll actually take this canard, flip it up like this, and it'll drop the nose of the hull back down. But really solid. You can see it's got these panels here that gives you access to whatever canard mechanism is under it. Then you have the canopy with the fake air intake and then the jet tube on the back. And I like how they wrapped it with a decal with a little patina on there. It's been burnt from the exhaust. And as you can see, the canopy is held down with 4 thumb screws. Then you've got the spoiler in the back, and they didn't just throw this on. This is actually adjustable as well. You can see the slide on the side. It is a mechanical adjustment, so bring your tools with you on the boat wherever you're running this if you want to make an adjustment. But what's really cool with this setup is everything is bolted in, so you have access. If something does happen to this, you could pull these pieces off, replace them if necessary. You can see the screw there to hold on the side fins, and then it's got this metal brace on both sides just to make that much more rigid. Those are going to come in handy as well. All right, let's take a look at the turn fin now. Look at the size of that thing. It is knife edged in the front, and it is breakaway. You got this slotted side right there, and it does have an aluminum mount. They have an option turn fin that curves down, so if you want to rip this thing around at high speeds, you might want to check out that option. Now we can check out the running hardware. Everything is obviously aluminum, so we've got the strut housing, knife edged in the front, and it is black anodized, all stainless steel hardware throughout. Aluminum bracket for the rudder. Rudder's knife edge has a larger hole down here at the bottom to feed the cooling tubes up top. That is a breakaway setup. Then you have the 4817 metal prop on this. That thing just looks gnarly. And a little drain plug back over here. I'll pull the cover off, and this thing is solid, guys. It's got some flotation in it as well. And it looks like it was actually screwed together, but I don't see where the seam is on that. I mean, they did a really good job on this. So inside the boat, now you can see where everything is molded. They have all these cross braces here that just makes this thing super solid. They have their SSL battery trays in here, which is strap, slide, and lock. So you can just put your batteries in this tray, drop it right in. Makes it much easier than trying to put the Velcro through the straps and batteries, and it's just a nightmare on some other boats. That's a really easy system. Over here is the motor mount assembly. So these side plates are composite. The motor mount itself is aluminum, and then it's got a grease cover over it, so the flex shaft isn't spitting grease out all over the inside of your boat. Really cool. Large metal collet on that. Again, flex shaft, nylon tube, the usual stuff we see for the drive system. Steel receiver box. They've got foam flotation in the front as well. I just like they've got all the guides for the water cooling setup on this. And again, it's a dual tube cooling setup. So you got your motor is separate from your speed controller cooling. And into the electronics, we'll start off with the Spectrum speed controller. 160 amp speed controller is programmable. You can see they've got the set button on there. I'm just gonna run it factory settings. They've got a 1350 kV motor. Look at the size of that beast. Again, water cooled, nice short wiring throughout. They don't have their clips to hold the speed controller wires in place like they have on some of their other boats, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, you've got to use lower profile batteries batteries in this, so you can't run some of those bigger packs. Looks like the 5000 is going to be about as tall as you can get in here. Here's your receiver box with the 315 receiver inside. They've got some extra wire extensions to get to the 2 servos, one in the front and then the steering servo here, which is an S605 digital servo, waterproof of course. And then the radio system is the DX3, and the button on the handle is what controls the front canard. This thing looks pretty cool, guys. But I wanted to show you guys something even cooler. My buddy Paul, whose pontoon boat we're on right now, brought out his Miss Elam. This is one of ProBoat's first, maybe it's their first hydroplane boat. I can't remember. Let me know in the comments section below, but this one was fiberglass. It was 4S powered, and look at where we are now, guys. This 8S beast, this is gonna be a monster. Let's go hit the water. All right, here we go, RC drivers. Roll into this thing, get used to it. Right now, settle in the water pretty good. We're about maybe 3rd throttle. It's got a lot more than I could tell. There we go, ramping it up some more. There we go. Whoa, getting a little light. It's about 1/4 throttle into turns, maybe 3rd throttle. Ripping back on it. A little bounce there. Might have to adjust that turn fin. Oh, getting light. Almost got to full throttle on that one. Whoa. Once it settles in after it gets light, it starts to bounce. Let that thing cut through the water. Got to readjust the angle here. Whoa. Caught some air off that ripple. This boat takes some driving, guys. And did a little bit of adjustment here because of the water conditions. So I have the trailing edge of the rear wing down. Actually, just went a little submarine there. And I've got the canard on a pretty steep angle just to keep this thing into the water. And the rear strut is down just a little bit from factory too. So there's going to be some adjustments with this boat. And again, you can hit that B button. That gives you full canard in the front just to drop that nose down. And when you hit the A button, it's about 10% to give you some lift. All right, we gotta give it some throttle back here. It wants to ride on that rear prop. Obviously, it's a rear prop. Get on some more. A little dancing. Yeah, it's a driver's boat. So obviously here's the thing with a hydro, it can't be self-riding, so you're gonna need some sort of retrieval system like the pontoon boat we're on, another boat to push it like the Horizon Harbor Tug, canoe, or a fishing pole. Never swim to get your boat. All right, we're back in action, guys. Does take on a little bit of water when it's flipped upside down, just be aware of that. Really drops that left sponson down in the water in the turns. That turn fin should be catching. The guys at ProBoat told me you want it 90 degrees. And then they do have a racing turn fin that's curved that I think might be a little bit better on this thing. All right, just went back to a level rear spoiler. Ooh. I like that change, and maybe I should never have done that before. Oh yeah, that's better. Here we go, guys. Ooh, I think I found the setup. Just a little adjustment to the strut. I've got some canard in the front just to give it some more downforce. All right, guys, now I'm into this boat. Like I said, you're gonna have to drive it. You're gonna have to do some tuning for your water conditions. This thing's pretty cool. Wicked fast. I don't have my speed meter with me, but they say this thing goes 70 miles an hour. I think you need some perfect water conditions, a perfect setup to do that. So if you're into that stuff, yeah, go for it. But I'm into the laps. This thing is looking sweet. Yeah, I want to get that turn fin. Very cool release from Horizon, guys. If you gotta have one of these, I'll have a link in the video description below. Definitely hit up your local hobby shop, talk to them about it. Man, ProBoat's killing it with their releases. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below.